It's interesting to me because I think when people go, is the stock market overvalued? What they're really asking is it about to crash?
Yeah.
And I think you kind of need to assess that, like the root cause of that concern, because by the stock market being the highest price it's ever been, what it's essentially done is worked. Like it's worked for you. Anyone who's bought it ever right now nominally has more money than they started with.
Yeah.
So everyone is now like, oh crap, but like it worked. What do I do?
Yeah.
You know, I downloaded, I just looked at the market returns of the past few years, starting in 2019. 28%. So this is the S&P 500, which is broadly, you know, the global stock market really. 28%, 16% in 2020, 26% in 2021, 19% 2022. Minus 19%, minus 19%. Yeah, minus 19%. Then it went 24, 23, 14.
Yeah.
I think the average over that period is about 16%.
Yeah.
So the long-term average of the American stock market, closer to 10.
Correct, yeah.
So we've had this period of exceptional growth.
Yeah.
So actually, we're probably due some poorer returns or a correction because, you know, for people that have ridden that over that time period, they're doing better than the long-term average.
Absolutely, yeah, no, for sure. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Because we, as investors, we never know what we're going to get in the future. We could be investing through the best 40-year time horizon that we've ever seen, or we could be going into the worst, but that's one thing we can't control. But at the moment, certainly a long-term average of stock market returns have been around 10%, and we're sat here now on 14%. Absolutely, over the longer term, you would expect your returns to be shorter. Now, or to be less, I should say. However, trying to guess when those are going to happen, that's the bit which gets a lot of people in trouble. For example, you might say, I looked at some of the stats on this one actually as well. 80% of the time after a kind of a bull market run in any given year, 80% of the time, the next year is also higher.
Yeah.
So it's not one of the things where just because you have a really good year, the next year has to be a bad one, or vice versa. If you have a really bad year, the next year has to be a really good one. If it was that easy, we'd all do it.
It's that Mr. 10 Best Days thing.
Exactly.
And they typically are in the worst.
You just don't know these things are going to happen. I mean, likewise, what we've just seen in the last few days, we've had the US and China having a little spat about potential tariffs, and that sent the market into absolute turmoil, both up and down. I mean, how do you trade around that? How do you predict that? And I would argue that you should personally.
I completely ignored it. Like, I only knew about it because other people around me talking about it, because I'm focused on prepping for the podcast and getting on with my life.
I think most people really should be focused on just
doing their day jobs,
getting on with it. Exactly. And that's such a difficult thing, because I think the real question when people are asking about whether the stock market's overvalued, I think it comes back to this age-old question of, is this a good time to start investing, or is this a good time to invest? My answer will always be yes.
Yes. That was a clip from our chat with finance YouTuber Toby Newbat. To watch full episode, click right here.